So folks, I finally did it. I went and saw Matrix Resurrections, and that's 2.5 hours I'm never getting back in my life. Oh, right, so this first part is going to be a non-spoiler. I'm not going to spoil anything. All I'm going to say is, right, if you've read the leaks are all correct. So for months before this film even released in cinema and even finished filming, I had the script to it, and I told you what it was going to be like, and I was right. Oh, it's just, basically, imagine 40 minutes of the film is just reruns of the first film, blasted at you constantly. So the premise of it all, and without giving no spoilers, first part, no spoilers, so don't worry. Right, all I'm gonna say is this: that basically they made Neo, or Mr. Anderson, as basically, he's in a video game. He made a video game called The Matrix, and he's the Matrix designer of the video game. He made 3 games, and basically, it's all in his head, and he's crazy, basically, and he goes therapy. Right, that's the only premise I'm gonna give it that. Right. So, it's bad. Really bad. You think second and third films were bad? Wait till you see this one. This one's like, pull on your plot armor. Come on, we got a whole lot of just garbage to shovel at you. So basically, action scenes, there looks like there's much, but there really isn't. By the time it's happened, it's over, and that's it. The battle scenes are kind of really shortened. Right, bearing in mind I'm watching it in Indonesia and the movies are cut anyway, which is even bloody worse. But anyway, right, the bugz character, I thought I'd hate it. All I saw was the blue hair and thought, it's going to be one of these crazy SJW women. Not really, no. She was alright. I did actually like her character. I didn't want to punch her in the face or anything. Morpheus, on the other hand, I just wanted to punch him in the face. And they throw in old cast members and granddaughters of old cast members as like, do you remember me? Do you remember me? Do you remember this? Do you remember that? There's basically an entire hour of this film saying, do you remember how good this was? Do you remember how funny this was? Do you remember how good that was? And that's basically what you're gonna get pretty much from the beginning to end, because 40 minutes of the film is just the first film that they've cut it and then put it thing, but they said, it's the game, you know what I mean? And it's just like, what a load of garbage. It's just bad. The fight scenes are not even good. You remember when Neo started fighting and you'd be like, yeah, he's gonna kick some ass now. You remember that? Nah, don't expect that in this. You've seen John Wick and you thought, yeah, John Wick's sick. It's like you watch this and you're like, what's going on here? Why is he... To be honest, Neo wasn't up to par on this one. You know what I mean? What's going on, Keanu? This is definitely one of your better films, is it? You know what I mean? He's acting terrible. It's like he couldn't be arsed. That's the kind of feeling I got from him, that he couldn't be arsed to make this film, and it shows. Especially like the first scene is just the first scene from the first film again, but you can see Trinity, and Trinity looks like really old and wrinkly, and they're trying to pass her off as like the young Trinity, and it's like, no, that's just bad. Bad. Really bad. What good can I say about it? The fight scenes are not that good. They recycled a lot of the old... pretty much 90% of the film's recycled. You know what I mean? No wonder the other twin didn't want to make it. And to be honest, do you know what? With Morpheus as well, everybody knows it's Morpheus, so that's not really a spoiler. But they could have brought in Lawrence Fishburne to do... because Morpheus doesn't really do much in the entire film and is kind of pointless. It basically gets bugz from A to B, That's it. About 2 minutes of the film is actually needed, and then the rest of it is kind of just there. You know what I mean? Oh, what else can I say that's without spoiling it? Do you know what, Sadik? We're going into spoilers. Spoiler alert. Yeah, this film is fucking shit. Where to start? They've just recycled the same old bullshit from the first Matrix, and they really didn't reference anything from the second or third one. They clipped like a 20-second minute thing, 20 seconds of it where it's like number 2, you know what I mean? And that's it. And oh, the ending of number 3, they show that, you know what I mean? So basically they made Neo and Trinity. Yeah, they captured him after they were dead and that, rebuilt them because they're like super duper batteries. It's like, what? Really? Is that the best you could come up with? Super duper batteries? These two together, we figured out how to rebuild them in their source code, and they're like super duper batteries and all this, and it's like, well, that's a bit crap. And it's like, oh, the machines had a war with each other. Oh, why? Agent Smith in this. Oh my days. It's like, why? What was the point in that? There was no point to Agent Smith being in it. He just comes at the end and helps. You know what I mean? It's like what did they call him? It was the architect, but they called him something else in this. But anyway, basically he was weak, he was pointless, he didn't have much to do with the film really. So he was pointless. I don't understand what was going on with the cat. I kind of missed that bit. The cat did something, you know, because it's the black cat. It's called Deja Vu, same as the other cat from the first film. Because, you know, it's not Deja Vu if you keep on intentionally putting the same bloody scenes in it over and over again. I mean, this is dribble. I mean, the machines now, yeah. So basically, the humans, right? So Zion's gone, and now they have a place called EOS. And inside EOS, they have machines there that do all the planting and everything and help them. And they've got all virtual VI and all this shit. And basically, the generals, the black girl from the original Matrix films, but she's aged to like, because it's like 60 years after, you know what I mean? Which again, the leaks are all correct. The leaks are all correct. This film is crap. It's just to churn out. I mean, it was that bad. People were walking out of the cinema. Honestly, the row in front of me all left. You know what I mean? They all got up and said that we're leaving this. You know what I mean? That's how bad it's been. And it's like, oh, I mean, the fight scenes are just the same as the other films that they've just. It is literally a copy and paste, right? But the biggest thing that I sat there, I looked at my lady and I just said, bullshit, is basically that Neo isn't the one. Neo has to have Trinity, and basically she's more powerful than Neo at the moment. And it's like, no, you've basically rewritten the 3 films to suit an agenda, because there's basically an agenda all the way through this film. You can tell it's woke. You can tell that Neo is basically, oh, sorry, oh, all the way through. I'm not the one, I'm not the one, I'm not the one. That's all he says all the way through to the end, and then all of a sudden, you know, he gets saved by Trinity because she starts flying. And I don't understand how that works. And then basically at the end, she's like killing the architect guy and then going like that, rebuilding him and killing him again and all this. And it's like, how is she so bloody powerful? This doesn't make sense. She didn't have this before. Why are you doing this? It's like, why didn't you just make Neo do it? You didn't need to make Trinity do it. He went there to rescue Trinity. What was wrong with that? Don't make Trinity like she's got like some super god powers. All Neo's got now is some Jedi force push, and that's all he's got now. He can't fly, he can't do anything good. All he can do is force push. That's it. Pooh, that's it. You're going to shoot me, I'll stop your bullets. Oh, you remember in the original film how he just like, pop, stop the bullets, no problem. No issue. Didn't even strain. You know what I mean? In this film, it's like, oh no, too many bullets, oh, all the way through. And you're like, you know what? What a pile of shit. You know what I mean? And this is how much it's frustrated me, because how much I'm swearing about this film. It's just bad. Bad. It is a cookie cutter, cut and paste from the other films. All the fight scenes are the same. You know what I mean? So basically, you had Agent Smith with all Agent Smiths having a big fight. That's basically what they did at the end of this one. It's basically 1, 2, and 3 meshed into one big giant film, and it's like, this is garbage. Go and spend your money on something decent. Spider-Man's decent. Go and watch that. Spider-Man No Way Home. Everyone's raving about that. I ain't seen it yet because the cinema tickets here are always full for that. Can't get in to see it. So, I mean, everyone's saying it's brilliant, so go and watch it. Don't go and watch The Matrix. Get it on the army mateys if you're going to watch it. Don't waste your money. Pointless. It's bad. I mean, oh my days. I ain't even gone through half of it yet, how bad it is. So basically, and if you're into conspiracy theories, I tell you what, watch this film. Obviously, don't pay to go and watch it, but from beginning to end, there's just loads of conspiracy theory stuff that people be like, you're full of crap. You know what I mean? But anyway, if you're into that, it's a good watch to find different bits and bobs, because you'll see it all over pretty much every scene. Neil Patrick Harris, I think that's his name. How was his acting? Himself as usual. He just plays one character, doesn't he? Keanu Reeves' acting, I thought, was really bad in this. Honestly, it felt like he couldn't be bothered to do it. Trinity's acting, as always, nothing interesting, nothing really good. It was garbage. I mean, if you look, I was saying to my lady, right at the end, if you look at the sunlight hitting her face, she's got more hair on her face than me. You know what I mean? I thought, she should have had a shave before she did this one. You know what I mean? Morpheus, he was absolutely useless. Morpheus, wasted character, didn't need to be changed. Lawrence Fishburne could have done it. They didn't even bother asking him, so that says it all. They should have brought him back in, and maybe it would have been slightly better. Not really. The story is garbage. It's basically they get Neo out, and then Neo has to get Trinity out. That's basically the premise of the story, and that they're a super battery together. And then somehow Trinity's got all these magical powers that she didn't have before. Why? Who knows? I don't know. There's a scene where I don't understand it. I kind of missed it, and I says to my lady at the end, I didn't quite catch it as to why they had to stick the jabby thing into, because they extract Trinity out of a little biopod thing, and they're chopping all these cables and that, attaching it to this flying dinosaur of a robot. Don't ask. There's just all these stupid robot designs. It's like, why? But anyway, they have this, like, it looks like a dolphin with wings, and it pulls out Trinity, and they're doing an operation on it to chop the cables, and then they've got to use someone else's mind to stabilize her so she don't die, but she'll die if she doesn't accept it. She has to want it in order to it's like, what? And then basically the last battle, they're in the room full of agents, right? Sorry, before I go on to that, so basically Bugz had to plug herself in to straighten out Trinity for some reason. In the adverts where she's going, man, and you have all the different heads. Basically that's because they've had to put Bugz' mind and her mind together to, I don't know, to achieve something for like 30 seconds. 30 seconds, that's literally how long it lasts for, 30 seconds, that bit. And it was like, why did you even put that in the film? That's just ridiculous. It's stupid. honestly, it's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And then basically, yeah. So anyway, they say to. So again, this doesn't make sense. Oh, we need you back in the system. You're the super battery. We need you. Yet they've still got loads of humans that they're harvesting power from. It's like, what? There's just a big plot hole here. And he was like, oh, if you don't come back, we're going to kill Trinity. And he's like, well, if you kill Trinity, they're going to kill me. And it's like, oh, you know. So, yeah, basically. So, anyway, they gets there. They have like a big standoff. He's in a room full of all these agents and bots, and they've made it like bots and swarms now. So basically when they do like an Agent Smith thing, they do like a swarm, and they're basically like zombies. And then basically, yeah, there's a bit where, yeah, this is how bad it is. Yeah, that basically they turned people into like human bot bombs, and they were jumping out the window and blowing up, and it was like, what? And they're like, what they doing? They're making a kill zone. And it's like, what's the? He's got force push. He force pushes everything, and it's like they send attack helicopters after him. And it's like, just force push it, but no, they had to do the whole. Oh, we need to escape. We're running up the building. Oh no, no, Trinity, fly, and then helps Neo. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, they're trying to make another one. It's blatantly obvious they're going to make another one because Agent Smith is the good guy in this, believe it or not. He basically, well, he doesn't kill the architect. He kind of just frees Neo and Trinity, and he's like, because of you, I'm now free, and it makes no fucking sense. So, why? I don't know. Again, there was a war between the robots, and it doesn't explain that. It doesn't explain that at all. And it was like, so basically when they were on Ios, she was explaining the destruction of Zion, and they were saying, oh, the robots are killing each other and they're destroying each other, and it's like, why would they do that? Cause like, oh, sorry, I was yawning all the way through the film, and to be honest, when it finished, I was like, hooray. But yeah. The robots had a robot war. They didn't really explain that one. It was kind of like, oh, something interesting's happening. And it shows you a big snippet of like a couple of robots killing each other, like the big ones, the harvesting ones that you see in the fields. And you think, yeah, nice, we're going to have a bit of action here. And then it was like that for about 2 seconds, and then that was it. And you're like, oh, something decent was going to happen then. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah. In the ending, and basically Trinity punches up the architect, and he was like, we're making this world how we want. It's not over. We're doing what we want to it. And it's like, right, okay. Fuck off, Trinity. And the reason, yeah, Neo can't fly, he can't use his super goo. And I've got my lady watching football shouting, watching it with her brother. Bloody hell. Because I can't make videos outside because the neighbours do karaoke and it's like full blast. And the only chance I got to do is do it in here and hopefully less noise, so I do apologise. But anyway, I'm going to try and wrap it up here now anyway. But crikey, the Matrix is awful. It's awful. From beginning to end, you're watching film you've already bloody seen, and it's like you're watching a film you've already seen, but it feels like a film that just never ends. Never ends. You're just watching a repeat of everything you've already seen before, just with a few new faces and a few new upgraded kind of things from, so it's like, we don't use telephone boxes, we can teleport anywhere. We can use anything as a gate now. We can use mirrors. We can use doors. We're just like in and out, in and out. You know what I mean? And it doesn't even make sense. I'm sorry. One last thing. The whole point of Morpheus saves bugz from the agents, right? And it's like, well, right. So Morpheus is an agent that he's an agent for about 5 seconds in the film. Saves Bugz, and then he's like, "Why are you saving me?" And he's like, "Oh, because you can help me get to him." And then it's like, well, that doesn't make fucking sense. And it was like, "Oh, Neo, you created me. You created me in this." So he made a different world of Matrix where it's replaying the same things, and it's like, how did they bring? This is an old code, so how did they bring Morpheus into that? Yeah, they kind of avoided that kind of worms by saying, "Oh yeah, you just take the pill and we can create Morpheus into this artificial bauble and have loads of little baubles." You remember the things as a kid where you used to have the metal pins and you just put your hand on it and leave your imprint and you have all the little silver the marks on it, and that's basically what Morpheus is now. He's a little like you press your hand on it, and that's Morpheus. Shit. So I hope they don't make another. From the sounds of it, they're trying to push to make more, and I hope they don't. This is garbage, absolute garbage. I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm just like, it's getting late here. I had to sit through that for 2.5 hours of complete boredom, and I'm like, ugh, ugh. And all you could hear is me swearing at the screen in the cinema. It's alright, there was kids and stuff there that were making noise, so you just hear me now and again saying, fuck off. Bullshit. What? You know what I mean? That's all you heard off me. And loads of people walked out anyway because it was that bad. So, yeah, anyway, that's enough of me waffling. Matrix, out of a 5, I'll give it a 2 because it wasn't a disaster. It'd be impossible to have a 2 out of 5, 5 out of 5 being top notch to watch, 1 out of 5 being wow, this is bad. I mean, it's not on the kind of scale of the scale of it's trying to think of a bad film that would be, but you know what I mean. It's a bad film. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money, and I'm quite surprised in Keanu Reeves how bad his actual thing is. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I'll leave it at that. 2 out of 5 for me. Would I watch it again? Probably not, unless it was free on telly, and I wouldn't even really be watching it then. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on social media to keep updated with the latest news. Bye now.